Hello, this is XStarKillerX and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. And today we're going to be starting a short series of videos going over changes in Battle for Azeroth, class changes that is. So I'm going to be starting off with Frost Death Knight, one of my main characters which I play. So we shall start this by going over what has changed in the talent tree, going level by level. So we'll go level by level and I'll tell you which ones have changed. So starting on the first one, before but first off we had Shattering Strike, Icy Talent and Runic Intuition, which is now Inauspicious Assault, Icy Talent and Cold Heart. On the next level, previously we had Freezing Fog, Murderous Efficiency and Horn of Winter. The only one which is actually changed on this one is the Runic I can't say this, Attenuation, which of course has moved down one row. Next one, before we had Ice Cap, Glacial Levant and Avalanche. This one is completely changed into what we have now, which is Death Reach, Asphyxiate and Blinding Sleet. And of course on the level 61 we now have Avalanche, Frozen Pulse and Frost Scythe, which has replaced Abomination's Might, Blinding Sleet, which of course has moved up one, and Winter is Coming. So on 75 we had before Violent Shrieking, Permafrost and Inauspicious Assault. Of course Permafrost is still there. Inauspicious Assault has moved up and it's been replaced with Death Pack, and we sort of have Wraith Walk there as well. Level the 91 we had Frost Scythe, Frozen Pulse and Gathering Snow. These have, of course, a few of these have been moved around. We now have Gathering Snow, Glacial Levant and Frost Worms Fury, which is a new one which I'll explain a bit further. So at the bottom we had Obliteration, Breath of Sindragosa and Hungering Wound Weapon. We now have Ice Cap, Obliteration and Breath of Sindragosa. Okay, so they are the changes to the patch tree. So now we're moving to what has been completely removed, or the skills which have been completely changed from what they were. So starting off, first off we have Abomination's Might, which has been completely removed from the game, is no longer attainable. This was a talent on the tree which was there and is now been completely removed from the game, so that one is no longer usable. So Freezing Fog, that effect has been completely changed. It has, and also it's been completely removed as well, so that one is now no longer usable. Hungry Weapon, which is now down here at number 1, level 100, has now been removed and is no longer usable, of course. Obliteration, that one is still usable on the bottom one, which has had its effect completely changed. So that used to make Frost Strike, Howling Blast, Frost Strike and Obliterate cost 1 less rune, and Howling Blast granted Killer Machine. It is now when Pillar of Frost is active, Frost Strike, Howling Blast always grant Killing Machine and have a 30% chance to generate a rune. So that's been completely changed. Shattering Strike, that has been completely moved from the game on level 56, which is now Inauspicious Assault. Volatile Shielding has also been removed from the game, and Winter is Coming has also been removed from the game. So if we move on to new skills which have been now put into the Frost Death Knight. We have Asphyxiate. This didn't used to be available to Frost Death Knight, but now is on a talent table. We have Cold Heart, of course a new passive skill on the table. Death Pact, which is like an emergency heal. We have a different version of Death's Grip, Death's Reach. We also have the brand new skill Frost Worms Fury, which is of course the artifact power Sindragosa's Fury. And also they have done a change to Obliteration as described before, and they've also done a change to Wraith Walk, reducing its cooldown from 45 seconds to 1 second. So overall, some other changes which have come. A lot of the skills have had their power reduced, obviously due to the stat squitch. As you can see, I now have 7,000 health instead of 5.5 million. A lot of stuff like that. Also item levels and all that have been squished as well, 219, 195, that sort of thing. Some ones as well, like for example a couple of them, Howling Blast used to do 82% of attack power, it now does 13.46% of your attack power. Obliterate used to do 456% plus 456%, it now does 60% of your attack power plus 60% of your attack power. But that is one of the more major things which has changed to Death Knight. It now relies on your strength and attack power stats combined, attack power, to work out your damage as well, which is a bit different to what we are used to. Like I say, a lot of the other changes are just down to being squished. Jesus, that squish. Of course, we have PvP talents which are now also usable. These are the ones that I use: relentless, decomposing aura, chill strike, and overpowered rune weapon. These are all of the ones which used to be in the pre-battle for Azeroth PvP talents. Of course, now we can have ones and use them anywhere in the world. Okay, so that is the main changes to Frost Death Knights. But just before we finish, I just remembered there is, of course, one new thing. Like I said, explained a bit further what we do. Have a couple of new ones up there, and we have the one Death's Advance, which I believe is a newer skill as well, which has been introduced, which is Death's Advance, which allows you to walk slightly faster, similar to Breathwalk. And of course, I have the Blinding Sleet as well, which has been in there before. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, get your push like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new to the channel, which follow me on Twitter, link down below as always. Last thing to say, thank you so much for watching. I've been XLQX, I'll see you in the next World of Warcraft video. Thank you so much for watching.